Hi, how you doing? This is Infinity Cali doing shadow work. I'm doing shadow work right now with two people. One is my mother, and another one is a friend of mine that is going through a hard time. So I've been talking about shadow work with people, and now I'm doing shadow work with um, not on myself, but I'm going to talk about doing shadow work with others. So in this situation, we have three people involved, right? One of them um, is the one that's doing the shadow work, the observer. One of them is the one that has the shadow, and the third person is the trigger, the one that um, causes the negative feelings to come up, the negative emotions, negative thoughts in the person that has the shadow. And that person has the shadow, uh, isn't aware
Ya,
of
ya, yo voy a ir a trabajar con los niños.
what's happening. He's caught up in his shadow at that moment, and he doesn't know it. So what's going to happen is I've been doing shadow work with these two, with actually both of these two people, talking to them. You have to be really calm, and you have to just be very observant of their emotions, of what they're feeling, reading their expressions. Um, if they're talking differently, if they're behaving differently, then something's going on. They're feeling something. So we bring awareness to that, and we bring awareness to them. We tell them to be aware of what you're feeling, be aware of what's happening, and they slowly start an awakening process of that shadow. So it's not, maybe sometimes it's different. Sometimes it can work in an instant. Sometimes it might take a little bit of time, a little bit of work, repeating these things. So we're gonna observe a little bit more of the situation. I've been doing this, and we've started doing the shadow work a little while ago. My friend got up, my mom was here, and now I've been talking to him, talking to her. They both have these shadows that are working side by side. So not only is my mother the trigger, she's also has some shadow issues with in this situation. We all have shadows in many situations, so we just have to capture those moments and help them bring awareness to them. So we're gonna observe maybe a little bit of this situation, and I'm going to talk to them and tell them, you don't have to. Sometimes, usually, people will deny it because they protect their shadow. We protect our shadows. We don't want to expose them, or we're so accustomed to them, and it's our ego. It's a protection mechanism of our ego. But we gotta just, so what you do, you make some questions. You ask them some questions. Maybe you can ask them, um, what are you feeling? You know, be aware of your feelings, and maybe they might say, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine," and then you can say things. Are you feeling rejected? Are you feeling down? Are you feeling low? Are you feeling unworthy? Uncomfortable? Maybe somebody is imposing. You feel you're being imposed on. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Voy a tomar mi desayuno. Quiero huevo. Hay pan, ¿no? Compramos pan.
Sí.
¿Qué pan? No me acuerdo. Compré tortillas. Ya. Porque ya comer galletitas ya me había cansado.
Respira despacio y esos sentimientos se desvanecen. Siéntelo, siéntelo.
Bye bye, bye bye. Bye bye, ya. Ya.
How are you doing? Good? Good, good. Sit down. Sit here. I like sitting on the floor.
Sit here,
On the bed.
sit here,
On the bed.
sit here on the bed.
I like sitting on the floor. Floor.
Puoi sentire un po' di quadri.
Solo eso, nomás como eso.
Está muy frío.
Está helado, sí.
Puoi poner
Se caliente ahí, ¿no? Sí.
no tienes algo así caliente que me puedas
Algo caliente.
un pan, vete.
Otra etapa.
No, pero ya, no, mejor ya.
¿No quieres esto?
No,
Esto ya no quiero.
no, banana,
Bueno, esto ya no quiero.
no. Mercado cerca, mercado cerca. Gracias.
Mercado. Sí, en mercado siempre hay cosas, fruta, cosas. ¿Puedes barrer esos huesos? Barrerlos. Barrer los huesos. Sí.
¿Quieres desayuno?
Sí, gracias.
Sí, tienes que ayudarlo a limpiar ahí al fondo, lleno de cacas.
¿Dónde?
Acá nomás, cerca. Y toman leche, huevo frito, vaca. Ya, anda, ayúdalo a barrer a él. Tiene que, para que prepare el sitio del compost.
¿Sí? ¿Dónde es?
Acá nomás es cerca. Recoge los huesitos y ya. Ya. Espérate, te voy a dar una bolsa.
Un recogedor.
Allá tienes una bolsa que es gruesa. Para que recojas allá el compost.
Un recogedor.
Acá lo vas acá lo vas echando. Y te animas, ¿ya?
Oh sí, oh sí, oh sí, oh sí.
Un buen desayuno.
¿Dónde es Gustavo eso?
Ah, ya.
Es que...
No sé.
Milk.
Milk. So that's what we've been doing here. We've been doing shadow work.
Yeah.
Normally,
Yeah.
one does shadow work on themselves. People gain mastery of shadow work as time,
Ya salió.
as they gain mastery in being aware of what's happening inside themselves. But there's another technique of shadow work, is shadow work in groups of three, really, right? There's the observer, and then there's the other two people that are the triggers. There may be they're triggering each other, or one is triggering another person, and you want to raise awareness of that person, their emotions, and you want to be aware. You want to feel what they're feeling, and indicate it and point it out to them, point out to them so they become aware of it, and they begin to become aware of what's happening inside, emotionally and mentally, in thoughts and emotions. So you ask them questions. What are you feeling? What's happening? And sometimes their ego tries to block it because it's a protection mechanism of what's happening. So you ask, you don't, then you stop asking. You start telling them, and what you sense they're feeling. So you're feeling rejection, you're feeling low worth, you're feeling someone is imposing, someone is obligating you. You have to, try to feel it, and then point it out, and have them focus on it. And it has to be very calm. Ask them to breathe, breathe and observe. Breathe slowly and observe and feel what's happening inside. And so it wasn't on the video, but that happened with my friend. My mom was saying some things when he just arrived, and he was in a vulnerable situation, and I asked him, "Are you alright? What are you feeling?" And he said, "I'm fine." He said, "First, I'm fine." And I just immediately just told him, "Just feel what you're feeling and accept it. Feel it." And he said, and then he understood it, and then he started feeling it, and then he became a little more free, and he was able to be more of himself. So that's shadow work, and that's something I've been looking into on myself, and also something I've been questioning about society. How do we help people? I was doing different things, different charity work. I was washing dishes. I was you know, when we were giving out food, and you know those things do help, but they're just momentary alleviation of their situation. You know, when people become aware of their you know, when people do shadow work and you help them do shadow work, people become aware of their the negative aspects of them. They this creates change in them, right? People become aware of their negative state, and then of negative thoughts, negative emotions, and when they come aware of them, those emotions and those thoughts dissipate more and more. And as after we remove layers and layers of these negative things, we have positive things start to flow. Right? Like I told you, my friend became more free, more liberated, and that is the happiness, the freedom, the positivity, and that positivity starts reflecting in your life, right? The negative, we have negative things, and then those negative, that interior reality is reflected in our exterior. So when we change those things, our exterior changes. And that's the magic of life, you know. Life reflects what we have inside of ourselves. So that's how we really help people, is helping them become aware of those things, helping them do shadow work, and they can do, and once they start doing, you show them how to do shadow work in this way, they start doing shadow work on themselves, and then maybe they can start helping others do shadow work too. And it's a process that we're all going through, and I think this is going to bring about a lot of positive things for society, for humanity. Well, let's keep it going. I'll try to bring more situations in real life. Another situation was with people were drinking, and that brings out the shadow too. And because people want to be happy, people want to drink. And I made another video about this, so but that's another way. And I asked the guy, when he was drinking, he was like being mean to somebody. I asked him, are you alright, bro? Or why are you mad? And then immediately he started noticing, instead of focusing on that person, he started focusing on what was happening inside. And he started telling me he had these problems. And so that's another technique we'll be working on too. And I'll be talking about it and try to make some more videos. Alright, take care. Peace.